Hold up. Oh yeah. Oh hey, hi everyone.
What are you making me wait for? What's going on?
What our audience tells.
It's funny because someone literally did.
Oh my god! Wait, really? Who?
Yeah, the dude who has like 3 girlfriends apparently. Oh my fucking god!
Wait, David. Since you are in charge of our analytics, I need to ask: did that guy actually dislike the video or no?
I actually didn't look. I don't think he did. I have to. I forgot those aren't public anymore.
Yeah, right. That's why. Yeah.
Oh fuck! What fucking pussy ass like YouTube protecting corporations? Like we're gonna dislike Jimmy Kimmel, YouTube. All right. No one likes Jimmy Kimmel. I mean that with my whole chest. He's a fucking douchebag, and he's out of touch with the world. We don't want him in YouTube Rewind. It's so funny. I was just listening to this on the official podcast. They were just like, yeah, we're going to get rid of YouTube Rewind. No particular reason or whatever. They're like some of the most disliked videos on the platform. They get rid of like public dislikes. Let's bring YouTube Rewind back. You know, that'd be a good idea for us to do. Like YouTube, like it's not even funny how fucking like transparent they are. All right, hold up. Analytics. Go on. What are you saying?
I was even just thinking, like, I'm pretty sure the only reason why they got rid of the dislike bar was to bring back YouTube Rewind. It's like,
I really think that.
I mean, to be fair, like everyone honestly thought like YouTube Rewind was the cringiest shit ever, and
which it was,
yeah,
because it's literally like television. It's like this.
Yeah.
No, we're not watching Jimmy Kimmel on YouTube. He's a fucking like late night show host.
And YouTube's already. Where's PewDiePie? YouTube's also like. As much as I hate to say it, is also like an extension already of like the status quo of the media. So like every Conan episode that let's say you couldn't catch or whatever, and I actually kind of like Conan, but it's like every Conan episode or Fallon episode or whatever that you couldn't catch, well, now you could just go on YouTube and just watch it on there. And a lot of stuff that was already on TV is like, you know, you can't really watch it fully, but you could still catch it like on YouTube. Like you can catch clips of it here and there. Even the fucking news is on YouTube, and MSNBC and CNN, they're all on there.
Yeah, but it's not like this is YouTube.
No.
The whole thing is about broadcasting yourself. It's not like
David, come on.
What do you mean, come on?
Who actually broadcasts himself? No one wants to see
most YouTubers.
No one wants to see you. They want to see a caricature of you. They want to see a guy or person that will literally, like, you know, electrocute themselves to get me views. Like I'll give you views as long as you hurt yourself, and probably do stuff that you perhaps would not do in your everyday life. Although, to be fair, I don't know if you remember this one YouTuber from a while back. It was called Electrostatic Boom. He was like that Indian. He probably isn't even Indian. And I'm trying to like maybe get that right a little bit, but
it's like how FPS Russia wound up. He wasn't even Russian.
Yeah, but like this guy, like essentially, he like legit did like science experiments that like caused like mini explosions and gigantic sparks, and like he hurt himself a lot. And the guy has like.
Well, so did Joji.
I know, but like this dude was literally
was a caricature.
This guy was literally like sticking a fork into a power socket, like that kind of slapstick humor.
All right, so he was trying to be a Looney Tune. Let a man fucking.
But this guy was an actual scientist too. That's the fucking thing.
I can't seem to find the like-dislike ratio even in the fucking analytics, but I am seeing a lot of interesting stuff about the engagement. And that video had a more percentage of viewers who watched that weren't subscribed because it brought in some other people.
Ooh.
One of the most searched up terms for it said over half of our total traffic from the YouTube search was people searching for polyamory.
David, could you...
And 6.3% girls podcast. What the fuck?
Could you send a screenshot of that, please?
Do I sound like a woman to you?
It's like... to sound like the most like butch ladies ever. It's like, hey, welcome to the Dykey Lesbian podcast.
Oh my god. Or just like the Dick Van Dyke Show, the Penis Von Lesbian Show.
Yo, can I just say something about like lesbians that like I just
welcome to the like, girls podcast.
I just like find funny all the time, like because let me preface this by saying like I don't watch lesbian porn, but it is honestly the funniest thing in the world to me that like all these women swear off guys, right? It's like, I don't want no dick.
You're talking about like the ones who like straight up like hard identify as lesbian.
Yeah, like just like I just like
girls.
completely like I no exception, no man in the bedroom ever, right?
Yeah.
But they still get fucked by a strap-on.
Dennis, I'm gonna stop you right there before you get into anything else. I literally dated a woman who claimed she left me because she wasn't into dudes, who wasn't as into her sexuality. And one of the things she told me during our relationship to assure me that she was, this is a direct quote from her, even lesbians wear strap-ons.
Yeah, so that's why like
So that's bullshit.
That's why I'm saying like I don't get it.
It's the thing is, it's not like the feeling that they dislike, it's like the thing that's on it. I mean, it's like literally, it's like the thing that's fucking on it. I mean, I imagine that's the case.
It would
because,
be.
I mean,
it would be the same, I guess.
Some lesbians don't wear strap-ons though. Like some don't like that feeling. If there's like
but I'm talking about the ones that do though.
That like is the butch, and the other one is like the
Cassidy,
the more feminine. Yes, sure, and yeah. Because, I mean, that was one of the things that she assured me. I'm like, are you trying to tell me that, like...
So what are you then?
I'm like, I mean, she was very unsure of many things. I'm like, are you, like, trying to assure me that, like, not all... Like, because, you know, you get that vibe, you know, like, of some idiots who say that straight women don't actually exist because of how common bisexuality is in women. That's not really the case. It's just women are way more... like, women are way more in control of their sexuality than men are. Like, if a woman kisses another woman, like, they'll be willing to try it, and if they don't like it, they're like, nah. Like, if I tried to kiss a dude and, like, I didn't like it, I'd be like, oh.
What?
You know what I mean? It's like guys are way more scared of that shit than women are.
Traditionally,
in that sense.
yes.
And
yes.
Women are also beautiful objectively, and men are not. You know, like, so, like, that, I think that's part of the reason why, like, it's more, I mean, I guess that is subjective in that kind of sense, but I think that's part of the reason why...
beauty is subjective, man, come on.
Well, bisexuality is way more common in women than it is in guys. That is an actual fact.
I also just think, too, like, for at least...
I cannot find the like-dislike ratio on this thing, by the way. Even in the analytics where I'm supposed to be able to see it, I can't find it.
I'd like to think the guy just probably felt, like, real... like pissed off when we were like bashing polyamory that he was like dislike, but he's also like fuck. No one.
Maybe he's not polyamorous and he just like has a girlfriend but
too.
Like cheats on her all the time.
I don't know.
He's like he feels bad about it deep down, and we're just reminding him that it's a shitty thing to do indirectly.
And I also still didn't get no DM on the Instagram, so I don't know, man. I don't know.
I doubt he cares that
Seems kind of gay.
I mean, it is technically if like he sleeps with the women together. I mean, that's two women hooking up. That's technically gay. So
I need to read this. I need to read this Amazon review that I saw for a mouse, and it was like, it just reminded me of like this guy, and. It's like it made me laugh.
Terrible drill instructor.
It was. It made
Russians click-through rate, views, unique fucking viewer. I can't fucking find it. I know it's supposed to be in here, but I can't find it.
It made Dennis laugh.
Okay, read us that review. What does it say for a computer mouse? Right, we're not talking about like, you know, the guy who like sticks his fork in like the wall to try to be the next Tom from Tom and Jerry. Like, this is just the mouse.
I believe it was for a gaming mouse.
Okay.
I wish I could
lay it on us.
Wish I could find.
This Kong's got style, so listen up, dudes. She shrinks in size to suit her mood. She's one cool Kong, you'll not be wrong to choose her.
What the fuck is it?
She'll skip and hop and make you clap, but love is not a monkey rap.
What?
It's a quick and it's a nimble hallelujah.
I can't find it. Fuck.
Oh, God damn it, we can't fucking find anything. I can't find the like-dislike ratio. You can't find the review. All I can find is Konglelujah, which I gotta say, for this video being like 3 years old, it is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
I will say it was Very well done. So David, if you guys don't know, David is a funny man, or at least he likes to think he is. He sent me at what the fuck time was it when you sent me this?
He's back again, about time to with his. Wait, fuck, I fucked it up. He's back again, about time to, and with his jet pack on.
Literally, as soon as I woke up, I saw this. Like, and it's the. If anyone remembers,
he is after you. He's tough and he's got pistols too. And every nut he shoots is hallelujah.
Is the Hallelujah song also rapped with the DK rap song?
DK rap.
And I woke up in the morning and just immediately just clicked on my phone, and this was the first thing I saw on my Discord. And and let me tell you guys, like, I have never been so irrationally angry, like, watching a video. Like, for me, it was 11 o'clock, yes, but for me, it was really early in the morning. And I literally, I shit you not, like, with all the vitriol that I could possibly convey through a Discord message, literally wrote, "I fucking hate you," to David. And then he goes on to reply after with, "This is art." And I'm like, "Oh, sure is a modern art masterpiece."
Oh,
and then he says, "I want to sing like this in front of people." And
I'm dead serious. I unironically want to sing this in front of people with this slideshow in the background. I think that'd be funny as all fuck.
And then right after he typed that, he says, I want to sing like this in front of people. And then I wrote, "And then I'd scream at you, boo, you stink!" And I felt so good sending that.
Full confidence.
So yeah, that was my Tuesday. That was my Tuesday morning. Yo, can I just say though, the days after the winter holidays, and I know David, like, you're going through some stuff at home and everything, but I think genuinely speaking, like, the days after the holidays are either very shitty or very quiet. And lately, or both, yeah. And for people who who are living in Jersey,
welcome to the Double D experience, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever said. Did we say that?
I said, "Hey guys, welcome," and then I said like a shitty,
that's
a shitty version of the intro, and then I just went from there.
Oh, did you actually say a shitty version of the intro?
Yeah.
What was it? I don't remember.
I forgot to. That's the thing. That's why I said
because you did say
shitty.
one before we started recording. I know that. But then, you said, "Hey guys," whatever. That's all you need. That's a generic like content creator up in here.
Or it would be like, hey guys. It's like, "Hey guys," or "Hey guys." Yo.
What's up?
"Hey guys, Company Shorts Gamer here."
Hi guys, Mr. Ruffle Waffles here with another Black Ops Zombies trilogy tutorial. He makes tutorials, not trilogies. What the fuck?
Welcome to the trilogy, guys.
Hey guys, it's PewDiePie. Combat Bear.
Oh my lord.
Whatever. Sometimes guys, sometimes girls, but always polyamorous. That was awful.
Welcome, guys, to the
fucking
to the first episode of 2022.
I mean, it's a pretty shitty episode. I mean, we're 14 minutes in, and technically not true, because we did upload last week's episode on YouTube specifically a little bit later, because I bought a cable modem. This is you guys want to know how I spent my Christmas Eve? I bought there was a short on my fucking Wi-Fi router or my modem about a month or so ago at this point, or a couple weeks ago. And I think it fried my old router. Like, it said there was no, like, link between, like, the modem and the router when it was plugged in and stuff. So I replaced it with a cable modem because I thought it was a 2-in-1 router. If it didn't work as, like, a cable modem, I could use it as a router. But then what I failed to realize is that modem, and even sets on the box, did not support home cable phone services, which, to the average 25-year-old, you will ask, well, that's not a problem at all, because everybody knows that those things are obsolete, and most people don't really use them anymore. Enter my 93-year-old grandmother, who got COVID, and was currently sick downstairs with it. she also has more friends than me. So, I had to fucking fix this so she could get her home phone back, and if that wasn't enough of a reason, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I tried to upload the podcast at normal time.
Oh.
It was going to be the thing that, like, kept our, 1-year streak of never missing a week going, which me and Dennis, as I've mentioned before on the show, take a stupid amount of pride in. But I couldn't, because I forgot I have Optimum. So when I didn't have a router to, like, stretch the signal no more, or, had something more reliable to, like, be the Wi-Fi source.
Literally couldn't do shit.
Just take a guess. Everybody just take a guess at what my upload speed was when I was, like, uploading the podcast, and just what my general upload speed was. 0.02%.
That you're gonna be like 0.000.
It was at one point. I'm pretty sure it was at one point. Dead serious. That's how unbelievably bad my upload speed was. So I had to replace that immediately. I have the Google Wi-Fi mesh now, which is literally 3 routers, like, spread throughout my house. So the signal's fucking stupid good now, as well as my upload speed being chef's kiss. Gordon Ramsay would approve it. So I was able to upload it like that, all good, but I wasn't able to upload it on time. But thankfully, we didn't mess up the streak, because thankfully I was still able to get, like, a tiny spike of, like, 4 gigabytes up at one point, 4 gigabits per second up, and I was able to use that little time to upload the podcast onto Anchor, which allowed me to get it on Spotify. So, ding ding, I was still able to get it up on time. Streak not broken, but it was not easy.
But David, why don't you tell them the little detail about how I literally, like, what our plan was when I drove to your house and I just stayed outside like a fucking mook. And let them know, David. Let them know, please.
Well, we were just gonna put it on, like, a flash drive, and I was gonna give it to Denise to upload when he got home. But no matter what I do, I couldn't fit that thing on any fucking hard drive. Even if I compressed the file, like, it was just too big. Like, no matter what, it was just too big, because it's a video file. On YouTube, it's a video file, technically. That's an hour-long video file of, like, just our logo spinning on loop, as a lot of podcasts are one to do. So, I just thought it'd be cool to animate mine. Oh, I'm sorry, ours, excuse me. Yours.
Go on.
Mine and ours. This was before the show was a show. Yeah, so Dennis is just sitting outside of my house just jerking it, and I'm trying forever. I'm already late for work trying to get this stupid thing up in there, and it just didn't work. And when it didn't work, Dennis sent me the funniest fucking thing out of, like, after so much trial and error of trying to get this episode up for you guys on YouTube, which is where most of our viewership comes from for this thing. Sent me that freaking ghost line from Modern Warfare 2. Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
Oh, bloody hell. We just got our asses kicked. Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
Like, David, I am being dead serious right now. Like, the first thing when you told me that this was just not going to happen today.
Yeah.
This was the first thing that just, like, screamed into my mind.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
The music and everything. Oh, my lord.
It was an interesting morning. I'll say that much. I laughed, even though I was a little pissed off. Oh, I found it!
The review?
Yeah, I found it!
Oh my god. Okay, we're cutting this segment, like, the story was done immediately. All right, back to the mouse.
So the guy bought a mouse on November 13th, 2012. And the review reads, "My girlfriend and I were on the verge of breaking up because I would keep her awake at night with my constant mouse clicking. Not anymore. Considering this relationship is saved, this mouse is so silent, she will sometimes forget that I'm even home and invite her lover over. He's a pretty cool guy."
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What? What is that? What does that have to?
Guess what This
Reads
post
like a
was
fucking
on
Pornhub comments. No, not a Pornhub cunt.
This was from r/hold up. And this whole subreddit
Oh my god.
is literally
reads like a fucking Pornhub comment.
just it's just think of it as the joke equivalent of throwing a wrench into some gears and everyone just being like, wait, what? did he just say what we thought he just said? It's like, yes, I fucked my mother. Okay, all right.
Nice.
So yeah, that was me derailing the whole fucking flow of the podcast.
No, it's fine, Nick. Some of those stories can get pretty funny. They definitely make some pretty good topics.
So what David is saying that he did not find what I posted funny at all. So
No, I thought it was funny.
I didn't hear
I'm saying it literally reads like a Pornhub comment because like it's so funny when you used to go like on one of those like Pornhub videos and you're just like everybody knows what you're there to do. We're all there to do the same thing, you know, this and that, and then you just go to the comments being like, you know, does anyone know how to tame a horse in Minecraft?
I know, it'd be like,
does anyone want to join my Roblox server?
I feel like a child too. It's like, hey, does anyone know how to tame the horse in Minecraft?
Or like Randy Marsh in that South Park episode.
Did he play Minecraft?
Yeah, he was like playing Minecraft, like while having sex with his wife, and he walked to like Stan's room like naked, and he's like, Stan, how do you tame a horse in Minecraft? It's like it's 4 a.m, Dad. Fuck off. Oh, Lord.
Oh, well, I
Well.
also had a pretty big dinner today, so excuse me.
I'm right there with you, buddy. I'm not gonna lie. I had like 2 glasses of eggnog
Oh, this episode stinks.
before I did. Bro, you stink. Well, listen. I don't know what happened or where it happened from. But you guys remember how in last week's or the week prior episode I was talking about how I had the COVID booster and it made me really, really, really sick?
And I'm actually getting mine next week.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. Apparently this is happening with like a lot of people, but I mean, I took a PCR test the other day, so I'm going to wait to see what happens, but both my grandmother and my mom got COVID. So, it makes me think, since I didn't have too extreme of a reaction to the vaccines before, I was just lethargic for like a day or two. It makes me think, did I get COVID like the day I got the booster? Because that's been happening, you know, with some people just because of the big uptick in cases and stuff like that. But for me, it might have been worse because I don't think I got Omicron. I think I got like the Delta one somehow, some way. Because, Dennis, I'm going to be real with you. I completely lost my, for a while, I completely lost my sense of smell and taste. And that's not a symptom of the Omicron variant. Like, literally, like, the reason I'm bringing this up is because, like, I literally drank, like, 2 glasses of eggnog just because I could taste it. I'm dead serious. It was just because I could fucking taste it. And like, I was scared. You know what I mean? Because, like, I mean, that happens to me before sometimes when you have, like, a bad cold or whatever. It's a common symptom of that, but it's not a symptom of the Omicron variant. So, like, the thing is, it's like you read these fucking horror stories of, like, people with long COVID, as they call it, and people who have permanently lost their sense of smell and taste, or, you know, permanently have breathing problems, or, like, have breathing problems for months or through a year on end after they get the fucking virus once. And that made me scared, because I'm just like, fuck, am I going to lose my sense of taste? You know what I mean? I'm like, if there's any sense that you're willing to lose, it's your sense of taste, of course. It is the least important one.
Taste?
You know?
No. Smell. I'd rather lose smell.
Smell is the least important one?
For me, at least. As I love fucking food, man.
I get that you love fucking food. Like, for me, I love food too, and I would be miserable to lose my sense of taste, but Without the nose, it's dangerous, Dennis. Like, what if you can't smell gas in your home?
I can live with that. I can live without that.
No, you can't because you'll die. No, you can't because your fucking bitch ass will die.
That's fine. That's,
No,
That's
okay,
fine.
yeah, you know I'm right, asshole.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you do.
No, you ain't. No,
Yeah, I am.
You're fake news.
Oh my god. Literally, it's but I lost both since those go hand in hand. But I mean, I literally could smell and taste that eggnog, and I love eggnog. I wish I could have it year round. I wish it was sold year round.
Ew.
Instead of it being just a Christmas. Oh no, Dennis.
Can I defend myself though?
No, don't tell me. No,
No.
tell
Let
me.
me defend myself.
What's the matter with eggnog, Denise?
Nothing personally. Nothing against anyone who does like eggnog.
Okay.
But traditionally speaking, as a Korean, we don't drink that shit. And
What if you like fucking George Lopez? You're like, oh God, man, we're Latino. We don't ski.
yeah,
Like, what is?
yeah, Koreans just don't do certain things. We don't go to the Macy's Day Parade. We don't go to Rockefeller. We don't care that our country almost got toppled on January 6th. Would have been business as usual for every single Korean living here. And when it comes to holiday drinks, we don't give a fuck about eggnog. I remember asking my parents like long time ago about like, you know, because we did all the other traditional Christmas stuff, tree and all that and everything. Not caroling, fuck that. That's Quaker level shit that I don't want to ever deal with. But eggnog? No. Never. Also, another thing too, Thanksgiving turkey. We just get Korean chicken because it's better.
Well, that is facts. That is straight facts.
Korean chicken's better. I'm
It's
sorry.
better seasoning. It's a more tender meat. Like turkey is like such low tier bird.
Fuck, I'd even get Popeye's chicken for Thanksgiving. Because as David said, turkey is like D tier fucking poultry. Like, it's just terrible fucking meat. I'm sorry. And I mean, hey, I'm not hating on anyone who does like turkey. I'm just saying, though, honestly, if you need poultry for your Thanksgiving, just get some fried chicken. You don't need fucking... you just don't need turkey, man. Like, you really don't.
No, it's not. It's a dumb reason. It's a dumb fucking bird. It's like, oh, like, go, these people, they made peace for like 15 minutes.
And then they started shooting
like,
each other.
But wait a minute, you're brown. No, I totally forgot for a minute, and then they just started fucking.
The Indians like,
killing
took
each
off
other
their
again.
mask. They took off their white person
Now
mask.
for hundreds of years, we have to eat this friggin' low tier bird because of that. Like, I don't get like. I mean, I get some people like preferring turkey because I think it's a little leaner. It's like I believe it's like a lower fat
It's
meat.
dry as fuck, people.
But
My
yeah,
God.
that also means it's not as
The
good.
very fact that you need fucking stuffing to make that shit even edible already tells you what like fucking kind of meat it is. And again, I'm sorry. If you guys do love turkey, like by itself, like I mean, I had a turkey panini once and I thought it was okay, but as far as like Thanksgiving goes, it's like I'd rather just have a gigantic like meat cock of ham than fucking turkey. Like turkey, and also like I'm thinking also
God
like,
damn it, Jesse! I told you to bring me a Christmas ham. I fucking looked everywhere, Mr. White.
Mr. White, I'm telling you,
I tell you,
couldn't
the
find
supermarket
the
didn't have
turkey.
any.
And he just starts crying because Jane died.
I'll buy one on your computer. No, Mr. White.
Mr. White,
Don't-
that's not a
don't
good
pull up-
idea, Mr.
Don't
White.
pull up my computer, Mr. White. Oh! God damn it, Jesse. Why are you looking at femboy porn again? No, Mr. White.
By the way, guys, this is also another little inside story from David.
Oh,
This
no,
was
dude,
also
it was
another
so
thing
fucking
that-
funny.
Because David, just tell your story and then I'll tell my bit.
Look, when I was a younger lad, all right, and I would play like first-person shooters, like I lived a pretty sheltered childhood. I'm not gonna lie.
As
not
did
to
I.
the point where my parents didn't let me do anything, but like they steered me the fuck away from drugs. You know, I was like a very shy, aspy kid. You know, didn't get invited or even go to the parties and stuff like that. Didn't get out of my shell until I was like 18, 17, really. And even then, I still obviously had a lot of growing up to do in those years, as, you know, we all do. So one of the things that came from that is that Team Fortress 2 was, like, literally one of my favorite video games ever fucking made. It still is to this day. If anything, I just listened to a seminar on Smash broadcasting tonight, and it really inspired me to, like, really, really get serious in the sense that I should pick up other games. You know, as far as, like, because I took a long break from Smash casting, so I feel like, you know, maybe, like, a little thing that could reinvigorate some passion is to try out some other games, which I'm one of those select few casters that never really branched outside of Smash, even though I've had the intentions to. But regardless, I always played Team Fortress 2 with the voice chat off, just because I never wanted to, like, hear the ear rape, or, like, you know, like, the voice spammer in there, or hear, like, the slurs, or
someone's
like
shitty
that.
music.
Or someone's shitty music, you know, like just a server full of heavies blasting, like, the frickin',
Sayo.
Exactly, which yeah, and now as an adult, I appreciate it so much more because I've grown past those reservations and can just focus on having fun. So I did that the other day just because I thought, like, okay, maybe, like, there's people using TeamSpeak or whatever, like, to help us win and stuff like that. Like, oh, like, people can warn me where there's a spy behind me now, stuff like that. And so I went, like, the last server I went on before I stopped playing, there were these two dudes on, like, the all talk who were no shit, just, like, role-playing Breaking Bad. Like, they were just role-playing as fucking Walt and Jesse. And they were saying, they were saying the funniest shit. Like, the femboy porn thing was one thing that came from it. And, oh my god, and then they just evolved in all sorts of, like, shitty accents, like, oh, god damn it, Jesse, I told you we need to focus on getting the cocaine. The cocaine. Like, oh my god. It's like they didn't sound anything, like, maybe a little bit like Walt. The guy who did Jesse actually was pretty good. Like, at least he had, like, the inflections, the intones, and he was just like, oh no, Mr. White. No, don't do it, Matt. Told you not to do it, Mr. White. Like, he had the intones in, but, like, they were just improvising the dumbest shit. But the thing is, they were playing off of each other so well. Like, their improv skills were so there, to the point where, like, I told myself after I was done playing, and I was laughing my ass off the entire time, by the way. It made it hard to focus. It felt, it had to have been practiced. I mean that. Like, these guys have definitely gone into a server before. I refuse to believe, and the fact that they were on the same team also leads me to think that maybe that they were playing the game together. I refuse to believe that that was just two random dudes in a server who just started randomly role-playing Breaking Bad and improvising that well. I don't know. Maybe I just don't play, like, online games enough like that. Some people are really into, like, Prop Hunt or random Gary's Mod lobbies, or people who, like, really live that weird second life online. I can't sit down at a desk long enough to do that.
Or
so
even Left 4 Dead as well.
Yeah, that, or like, you know, just Valve Source games and stuff like that. So maybe I'm wrong and people really do just improvise on those servers too well and really just go on there and shitpost to, like, tiers and qualities that I, as a young man, could never aspire to at this stage in my life. Maybe there are some shitlords out there who are really just that dedicated and that good at it. But my god, the way they did it, it's like my description is not even really doing it justice. They were just so practiced in how they played off of each other, and you could tell it was improvised too, because sometimes they just went like, oh god damn it, Jesse. Like, sometimes they would bust a little bit, like they would laugh just a little. So, you know, like, it wasn't completely rehearsed, but oh my god,
and they were having fun
so
with the bit.
Funny.
I love hearing that, like, when the let's say the two of them are just, like, so, like, into the bit, but, like, they still crack a laugh
God
every
damn
now
it,
and
Jesse.
then, and like break character just, like, for a brief second because of just how, like stupidly funny this is, like, to both of them. I love that so much. Like,
I'm charging the med, Mr. White.
Like,
I'm charging the med.
I think even Filthy
God
Frank.
damn it, Jesse! I told you they have Uber.
Joji as well. He also broke character a couple times when he was
Yeah.
playing Filthy Frank. And every time he did, I laughed so hard. Because, like, especially that one clip that everyone knows of with iDubbbz where he's like, hey, that's pretty good.
Oh,
Like,
hey, that's pretty good.
His laugh, like Joji's laugh, that was his laugh. That was not Filthy Frank's laugh. That was Joji just completely just being destroyed by like what iDubbbz had said at that point.
That laughter is contagious.
It really is, yeah.
You know, and it's really what me and Dennis aspire to hope bring to you on the show is when we laugh like idiots about something, we hope you could just laugh like idiots with us.
But David, how do I play into this story?
Oh yeah, Dennis, like, apparently, because this was pretty late at night, and I just, I don't know why.
It was literally fucking midnight.
It might have been later.
It was like I was all ready for bed. I just did my fucking facial routine and everything. Was getting ready to bing bong go to sleep.
Yeah, I know Genesis likes that Korean face to be nice and smooth.
Actually, no, that was a gift from my mother. Thank you.
Oh.
But
I'm sure Genesis don't mind.
yeah, true. But so
yeah.
David was literally spam messaging me, like just being like bang 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 bang, just like writing out these messages. And he's like, dude, I'm playing TF2 and I turned on voice chat and these two dudes are just role playing Breaking Bad and as Walter and Jesse, and I am dying right now. And I'm like, well, record it off a shadow play then. I gotta literally turn my computer back on because I literally just turned it off by the time he fucking messaged me. And then I was this close. I was literally getting into my chair, right? And then I got another message from David, and he just said, "Oh, wait, no, never mind. They just left." And I was like, "I'm going to bed." And I let me tell you guys, I was actually kind of mad. I was kind of mad because this guy fucking got me out of bed for nothing. I like literally sprang out of my bed, David. I'm being dead honest. I like was just
you to do that.
Like I was just kind of like just in my bed, just chilling, right? And I was just like reading your messages. I'm like, fuck, because I was debating it. But then
Damn it, Jesse.
and then like David, I swear to God, your timing has got to have like a historical record of being the worst fucking timing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, well, thank you. As a guy with a comedy podcast, I appreciate you saying that.
Like just as soon as my ass made contact with my cushion, it's just like, oh wait, never mind, they left. Yeah, I fucking hate today's episode.
Oh, we really came out guns blazing with this one, huh?
Yeah, guns blazing, more like a limp dick. Oh my god. Oh, I guess also
at least we had some fun stories to tell.
a little personal update from my end.
Okay.
Sorry guys if this episode does feel a little just a little all over the place. Forgive us, or forgive me, I guess. But recently I just started a IT certification course.
Oh.
So your boy is gonna be. I was gonna be like state certified, but I'm like, no, New Jersey, don't do that. Like, I'm gonna be on paper certified to fix your computer screens and wipe your phone of all the malware and shit because the Nigerian prince like scammed you and gave you a phishing scam on your phone through Gmail. And just a little bit, I guess, I don't know. I just want to talk about like. The course itself is not actually sponsored by the people who are going to administer the exam, but it's the course that I'm taking right now is actually from a guy called Professor Messer, and he basically has this whole website that teaches people everything they need to know for the exam, and the exam's called the CompTIA A+ certification. So it's essentially like you're certified for the fundamentals of like IT support. So these are like for guys who essentially want to go basically be help desk support. So it's like, you know, you're going to be the, you know, welcome to Microsoft Tech Support. Like, you know, that's going to be me. Like
I was wondering when the Indian was coming out.
Say, well, welcome to blah, blah, blah Tech Support. Dave, is this you again? Oh my god, Dave, this is the 4th time you bring me your computer. What did you do to it, my friend? The guy's just like, oh, I'm sorry, Dennis. Like, it's just, I don't know, this thing's got a virus. It got a virus because you clicked on stupid link on your email. Why do you think it's called spam, you fucking idiot?
So you're gonna be that guy that like all this effort, right?
Oh, no.
Like for you to do this, you're gonna be the guy that like all the grandmas call and shit, and being like, "How do I connect to the internet?"
And I'm just kind of like,
that's gonna be you.
I'm just like, just bring your computer and I'll just reinstall Windows. He's like, okay, like stuff like that. But I don't plan on just resting on my laurels after this exam. Your boy's got some aspirations right now. Because I plan to also go on to network security as well. That's my end goal from doing all this. And if you guys remember, like, we talked about like a little bit of like, maybe people like figuring out like where they want to be and where they want to go. And, a lot of times it's not like there's no set date for people to figure that out. It takes time for people to kind of know like where they want to go. And for this especially, like I'll even be honest, I was always interested in going into something like that. Like I remember I took like a comp sci course back when I went to Brooklyn for that one semester, and I feel bad for saying it, and there's nothing wrong with my professor. He was a pretty good professor, but he was one of those people where like English, I was guessing, was not his first language. And he had a bit of a thick accent. So trying to decipher anything that he was trying to say to us was a fucking trial in and of itself, along with the course, because like even by that point, like I had never even cracked open a computer at that point. But like this was like the comp sci course was practically like, all like bits, bytes, and binary and stuff like that. And I think our final literally had some problems where we had to actually like figure out, like going through the binary code, like what does each of all this mean. And as people know, like from the previous episodes, like I went in for a history degree. Fucking useless, but
but you sure let old Danny Waney talk you into that one, huh?
Again, I have I guess you could say like I loved my time at least being in the history department. I was having a lot of fun, but computers was also another thing that at the very least like I was always interested in, and I by the time of college I already had built my first computer by myself, and I already knew like most of the terms: CPU, motherboard, RAM, DIMM slots, shit like that. And but I was almost the same as how remember how David, I told you like I was a bit scared going into my film major, and I had like doubts about myself. It's like, I can't do this. And I had the same level of doubt. Legit, I had the same fucking doubt when I thought about going into IT as well. Way back when, but like before all this. Same doubt, same fucking feeling. Just like always like second guessing myself, and then that second guessing turns into like just straight up like, oh no, I can't do this. Like just straight up like just almost surrendering in a way.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Because like I didn't even try it though. That's the thing,
Yeah.
And I will say, I took this course like kind of in the morning, and it's not like structured as like a college course or anything like that. And I was honestly having a lot of fun, like just jotting down notes about all this stuff that like I was always interested in, like way back when, but like I was never able to like ever study it in an like, let's say, academic manner. And I mean, for this one, it is, I guess you could say it is academic, because like, I'm trying to take like an exam like at the end of it and everything. And honestly, it was probably one of the best couple of hours of like self-studying that I've ever done in my life.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and I'm probably gonna go do that course, crack another chapter again after this, after we record. But
hey,
yeah, your boy is gonna be he's gonna be working servers, and then he's gonna spill his iced caramel macchiato onto the servers and cause all of your hentai porn to crash.
Sounds like a very specific drink you got there.
I will say, I know I give.
Say, you sure that's like the podcast side of you coming out? That's an actor's drink, my dude.
I give shit.
Where's my soy latte?
I give shit a lot to Starbucks, and I always will. But there's always one drink that I have never stopped loving from them, and there's an iced caramel macchiato, and everyone can call me a for liking such a drink, but y'all can go fuck yourselves because it's a wonderful drink. And I still drink iced coffees every now and then too. It's just straight up black. And I'll even go on to say this: like, if you go to Starbucks to get a normal coffee, you're a fucking idiot. Because Starbucks, you go there for them sugary ass drinks that are barely coffees. These are just like straight up like sugar in a cup. And
them chai lattes.
Yes. And I still drink iced caramel macchiatos to this day, and I drink it unapologetically. I also still think margaritas are the best alcohol drinks out there. Go, sue me. I don't give a shit. Like, as a man, go fuck yourselves. All y'all people who just, like, love your pussy light beer and shit, go fuck yourselves. I'm gonna enjoy my margarita. Fucking gucks.
Okay, well, now that you're done with that.
But
I was gonna say, I know a guy who does IT. He's like the main tournament organizer for like the tri-state smash scene, and his background is.
David was just like, "Whoa, like okay, where's all this coming from?"
I'm happy to hear it, man. I'm happy you're finding a little bit of direction in that regard. That's dope, and I really hope you enjoy it. I was saying I know a guy who does IT. So he's the guy who like told me about like Google Wi-Fi and to use that instead, since I have a big house and he's been to my house before and stuff like that. So, and I'm using the Google Mesh now and it's pretty good. My only complaint about it is that the router itself only has 2 Ethernet ports and one of them is for the modem.
Oh.
So the other one is for my computer, obviously, which I'm using right now. But then I also would kind of want one for my Switch, so I can actually use the internet on the thing.
Switch on Wi-Fi is also pretty fucking terrible.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. So, like, you need that wired connection. So, unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to buy an Ethernet hub, but those are really cheap, and it's not a big deal. But, yeah, other than that, it's been great. So,
that's good.
He's a really reliable guy. So, I don't know. He could know somebody in IT if you want me to link you up with him at some point.
Yeah, sounds dope.
Yeah, I bet. All right, cool.
Yeah. And
honestly, let's just aspire to be our best selves in 2022.
Yeah, we're just gonna have those like fucking posters up on the wall, like live, life, and love.
Live, laugh, love.
Oh, is it live, laugh, love?
I am white.
I am Karen.
I am Karen. That dude, I am Karen sounds like the name of like some friggin' like, like powerful like moving documentary about the middle-aged mom.
Can I just say what I just thought of right now? You ever watch that movie I Am Legend?
Yeah.
She's like the only like it can either be both ways.
Oh,
it's like
she's the only one who didn't take the vaccine.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And it's like, and this one guy who's just roaming around, like Will Smith's character is a manager.
Dennis. This would make a genuine great comedy sketch, dude.
It'd be an expensive comedy sketch.
Why would it be expensive? You would hire like 2 actors.
But like remember the whole zombie? Well, not zombie, but like infected.
Yeah.
Like there's like just swarms of them, and they're all Karens. They're like all in the darkness, like manager.
Manager. Privilege. Oh.
All I'm saying, it'd be expensive because we'd have to get all these people to, first of all, wear that stupid ass haircut.
Yeah, it's true. We'd have to like pay some poor.
I'm a numbers guy.
To, create the target. That just makes you a target at this point, man. It's like wearing like a freaking star.
Essentially also like a target
identifies you.
Yeah, like a target like on your head forever. And I mean, to be fair, they don't even care because it's like they're not really the most smartest people out there. TBH. So
yeah, and they're usually white, so it's just like what can happen to
but
me?
the Karens there's no racial lines. They literally just like across the board. Like we just never had a term for these people. Now we do. Like it don't just apply to white people. Even though for the most part statistically, yes, it does. Most of the time, yeah, the Karens that we see
Every time I've dealt with a Karen in my retail, it's been a Latin person. I'm not even kidding.
and
Every
there
time.
you go. It's across the lines, guys. Like from one end to the like
Which that
yeah.
leads me to something I've been thinking about recently.
couldn't think of a word. But go ahead. Yeah.
You ever notice how, like, I don't know if it's maybe like a life imitates art kind of thing, where, at least in America, which obviously was Hitler's nightmare, to advance on Hitler's nightmare, the reason I'm not just saying Hitler's nightmare for no reason, I'm making it relevant.
Jazz, what?
White and black people touching mouths,
Playing instruments, having rights. Kind of. You know, because it was the 40s. It was still like a couple years away from that, but,
jazz, music.
Colored people not in camps. What?
Like, the reason I'm saying this is because obviously in America, you have all different types of, like, races and ethnic groups, hooking up and breeding and stuff like that.
Yes,
We're in 2022, motherfuckers. We can lick, suck, and fuck whoever we want. And ain't no goddamn German gonna walk up to me and tell me I can't do that. Fuck you. Fucking 1940s Germans, racist ass motherfuckers. All right,
Except for the 2% Germans that weren't like that. They exist.
Was it literally only like? Don't go off on a tangent here. I had a point.
No, yeah, go, yes, okay, yeah.
Because I know if I start talking about, well, David.
Yeah, it's like, welcome to History Lessons 101 with this stupid fucking Asian.
Dennis, I don't know if our analytics really like. Welcome to History Lesson. No, you fuckers need the occasional history lesson, all right? And God damn it, you're gonna listen to Dennis.
And all of y'all need
click
Jesus.
off the episode.
All y'all need Jesus for real.
All y'all need Jesus, especially y'all who talk about Jesus the most. Like y'all need him the most.
They probably stone him like legit if he ever did come back down. It's like
Jesus would hate most American Christians.
Like, you know how people like love to say like Jesus didn't have a hateful part in his body, right? He gonna grow that hate from like modern day people.
Holy crap! Here comes Jesus, and he doesn't look too happy.
Wait, so David, you're saying
anyway, yes. Then, it's Hitler's nightmare is that in America, especially now, like all sorts of ethnic groups hook up with each other. And I don't know if it's just like a life imitates art kind of thing, but you ever notice how like there's like these weird like there's like usually one specific pairing that is more of an extreme rarity to see. And
Explain.
I think this is true for all ethnic groups, right? I don't know about you, but I still don't see too many white and black couples. Every now and again, I'll see one at the American Dream. I'll see one. We live in Jersey. It's very diverse over here. There's all sorts of kinds of people doing it. But because most of the time, people usually do still date people of their own, race or ethnic group, which is fine. Like this might be someone from their community or someone that they met through that, or sometimes might want to date somebody from that. People are usually most attracted to their own races. That is still, I think that's still statistically true.
Except this guy.
except Denise, yeah. What I'm saying, my friend, and the reason I'm bringing this up is that you're kind of the outlier. You know what I mean? It's I've seen white people. I've seen Asians date white people a lot. I see that happen a lot.
I see Asian dudes hooking up with Asian women. I see that more often.
Obviously, like the same group. Very rarely do I ever see Latins and Asians together.
Unless they're Filipino.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, you're like the same skin tone as me.
Look, and before anybody gets on me for saying this, I'm just calling things as I see them right now. Very rarely do I see...
And David goes to... he works at a mall. He sees plenty of people, like, every day. Like, he's been around.
I very rarely see white and black people together. I very rarely see Asians and Latinos together. I very rarely see like it's like this weird like mix of like type of people that I see. You know what I mean? It's like for whatever reason. I mean, they're
David's about to be canceled.
probably. This is not how I thought this segment was going to go.
As a white person, David, everything will be used against you.
I was about to say, like, this segment is not going the way I thought it would.
It's getting a little derailed there.
The reason I'm saying this is because it's just like, I feel like there are some things that are still considered like certain like couple dynamics that are considered rarer than others. Like, I'm being honest, like, your relationship is rare. You're the only Asian that I've ever seen with a Latin person, I think, in my life.
And I've only dated Latinas, like, flat out. So,
and I've never personally known like any white and black people that were together, but I see them all the time at the mall.
I see a lot of old timers. I see a lot of like old people, like white and black. I see that a lot.
Really?
White guy and black lady.
Well, I will say
a lot
in
of
the
those.
70s. In the 70s, that was huge. That was a very big like sexual experimentation era because it wasn't that many. It wasn't how many years prior was it that biracial marriage was illegal in America? How many years prior to it was that? It was in the 1970s that the first interracial kiss was actually ever shown on television in Star Trek.
Wouldn't it be interracial marriage, not biracial marriage?
I knew I was saying that wrong. I fucking knew I was saying that fucking word wrong. I think you're right. I'm pretty sure it's interracial. God damn it.
Okay, so at least off of Wikipedia, the greatest academic source in the world, interracial marriage in the United States has been legal throughout since at least the 1967 Supreme Court decision Loving versus Virginia, 1967. That held
that's what I'm saying.
That
it wasn't until like
miscegenation
almost the 70s. Almost the fucking 70s that white and black people couldn't marry each other. And obviously couldn't date either because then they would get fucking yelled at or whatever in the street or attacked and shit like that. And the 70s was when that really began to change. I mean, that's something you'll see in a lot of 70s period pieces movies is white and black people hooking up. Frankly, because they never did that before. And so, like, now they could. My point is that, like, obviously, it's a good thing to see that together, but I feel like there's still some that are considered, like, rarer than others, or some that's, like, a little bit, like, taboo in that kind of sense. Like, one thing you'll see in a lot, and it happens in a lot of, like, I don't know. I don't want to use, like, music videos as an example of this, though sometimes they can be some reflections of cultures, is, even when I was younger, I would have people scream this to me because I went to a really diverse school, is, black people and Latins. They just mix.
Yeah.
They just do.
Yeah.
And it's because, the Latins came and, they kind of took the black people from the black land and tried to make them their land. So, yeah, your land is your land. This land is my land.
Sprinkle some
that
interracial
land's
marriages
also
as
my
well.
Land. And yeah, I'm Cuban, so there was a lot of like weird interracial stuff that happened in there as well. You know what I mean? Because that's why there are so many like. That's why the spectrum of skin color of Cubans is like it's like literally white to black. Like straight up, like all the way across the spectrum. So it's interesting to like listen to the history as to how those kinds of things happened. But at the same time, even though we're living in like the modern era, I feel like there's some couples that are still like a little rarer than others is what I mean. You know what I mean? That's I don't know why that was on my mind recently. I felt like there were just like these weird like unwritten rules or whatever that, like used to exist. But now, obviously as time goes on, that changes. But I forget the reason that was randomly on my mind recently. I don't know if I saw a video or if it was something else. Maybe it was an observation I made or whatnot. Because I see all types of people come through, at the mall. Mostly hot moms, if I'm being honest.
Hot rich moms.
Yeah.
They're going to they're going to the Avenue, the American Dream, to get their Gucci slippers.
Pretty much, yeah. And normally it's like, you still see people of the same race like hooking up with each other. But at the same time, it's like... now it's more and more types of people. I'm going to be completely honest. I totally forgot where I was going with this. But I think I made my point.
David.
Yes.
What did we say? Just enough structure to support our lack of structure.
I never said that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's whatever. Fuck you. But, I just even throw my 2 cents in there. It's like...
I'm addicted to PCP.
He's also addicted to POC. But
very nice, very nice.
I also just want to throw my 2 cents because, like, especially for Asians specifically, and even speaking about myself, like Koreans, like, Asians for the most part, especially East Asians, so Japanese, Chinese, and Koreans, we're pretty, classically speaking, we're very xenophobic when it comes to marriage.
I hear Crazy Rich Asians actually like did a good job of like portraying that kind of like upscale, upper class, like Asian type of people. Because when I first saw that, I didn't see the movie. When I first heard of it, I'm just like heard the title. I'm like, this sounds like fucking trash. You know what I mean? It's like this sounds like some sort of like whitewashed freaking like, oh, like we made a movie about like Asians, like maybe Asian people will see it, but like I have not met a single Asian person that has not spoken highly of that film. That's seen it, that has not spoken highly of that film.
The thing is too is that, like, traditionally speaking, like Asians in general, strictly speaking, like East Asians, they love to portray themselves as if they're richer than they actually are. Because I know a lot of people who live a little bit above their own means, in the sense that, like, they got a Mercedes, but they didn't need a Mercedes. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Asians historically, like, we love to flex in front of each other, especially within our families.
Okay.
And people may kind of perhaps say that, oh, that's not like a cultural thing. Like, everyone does that. And yeah, maybe you're right. But Koreans specifically have like this very strong distaste to look poor. Everything's a thing of status amongst us, because Koreans for the most part like are not in the, let's say, the poor strata of, let's say, your everyday sort of town. Like, we don't live in Patterson, we don't live in Camden, we don't live in Jersey City. That's for us to, like, for a lot of the old timers, like, they would say, oh, that's
Edgewater.
Yeah, we would be like, oh, that's like Black and Hispanic like neighborhoods, and for Asians especially, like, I'm not like this, but at the very least, a lot of the old timers, there's always a bit of hint of racism from first generation Asians, people who literally like came here like before or after the war, and for the most part, like, Koreans and Asians in general don't, historically speaking, they never really mixed together in the melting pot. We usually just had our own space, and that's how we liked it. And anytime anyone ever encroached on our neighborhoods, we just end up like packing up and leaving, and just like, whoever's coming in, fuck it, take it, and then we'll just move to another spot. New York and New Jersey got like probably the 2 biggest K-towns in the East Coast. California obviously is another spot that has, as anyone could tell, like, there's a lot of Asians in California. And I've been to LA a couple times in my life, and I went to the K-town there a couple times, and it's the same for any city you go to. Like, even in New York, like, everyone's got their own neighborhood. Puerto Ricans got their own neighborhood. Dominicans got their own neighborhood. Even the Jews, the Polish, everyone else too. Like, everyone's got their own neighborhoods in New York. And
those things still kind of happen in like one way or another, you know. Like, I mean, I live in Teaneck, which is a very, very diverse town, but it's still very much more so known for its Jewish and Black populations.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's interesting how that kind of just happens.
It's always just I feel as if though, like, even the case of like for Koreans too, and like their community, like, it's not even like its own example. Like, you could see that in everywhere, like in any sort of like community. Like, typically, let's say in a traditional yuppie white suburban neighborhood, they don't really, like, historically speaking, and even the real estate, sometimes data can confirm this, they don't usually like people of color coming into their neighborhoods. Because back in the day, this used to be a lot more naked. Like, real estate was real racist like back in the day, and it was pretty naked back then compared to it is a little bit now. But sometimes, like, back in the day, if let's say this black couple wanted to go and move into a predominantly like white neighborhood, right? Whatever their story is, like either they were saving up money to get out of the ghetto, or like, you know, wherever they lived that was kind of like, let's say, lower income or like poor sort of like kind of economic status. Wherever they usually went, there was always racism that followed. No matter what neighborhood they always went into. And I feel as if it's also for that reason that, like, I think perhaps that's the reason why places like Chinatowns and also K-towns like popped up and sprung up to a lot of the major cities in a lot of the major cities that we know of, because of like they knew that, oh, I can't go into this neighborhood because they'll probably kill me and lynch me. Like they'll probably like oh, they'll love my Chinese takeout, but they'll still probably shoot me. So, or like, you know, like some racial violence is going to happen. So it's probably for that reason, like because it's like those Chinatowns that we see, especially in New York. And David, you've been to the Chinatown down in New York. Like that area has been there for fucking like literal decades now at this point. Like, and it's become a part of New York specifically too. Like, I mean, a lot of tour guides don't like usually say like, oh, because like, you know, most of the tour guides are like, oh, like we're gonna go to Times Square, we're going to Wall Street, we're gonna go see Little Italy, or whatever's left of it now at this point. Maybe Ellis Island, stuff like that. Like, you know, the typical touristy shit that like everyone who's coming to New York for the first time, like that's where they go, right?
Right.
But no one's ever saying like, oh, you know, let's go to Chinatown. And Chinatown's not really that much of a rough neighborhood, let's say, compared to like the Bronx. But you could tell like it's not exactly the most cleanest side of New York either, you know? And I mean, people will even go on to argue, well, what part of New York is clean? Fair enough, unless you're living on the Upper East Side or the Upper West Side. But you even like go, and the thing is too, like you go to any neighborhood as well, like you always see a Chinese takeout. No matter how poor that fucking town is, there is always a Chinese takeout somewhere close to that fucking town. And
Maybe
it's just they just make their presence known. Yeah, like even though you don't see Asians too much, depending on certain neighborhoods, you'll always see a Chinese restaurant. And I guess what I'm also saying too is that like when it comes to like why even back then, it's a little bit different now. Like the interracial marriages are definitely, I think, going up as the years go by. I almost feel as if the term like white person maybe even like eradicated off like maybe in 20 years time perhaps. Like just full on like bona fide white person, like that whole term might just like be gone.
What do you mean the term? What?
No, like at least genetically speaking, like pure, like because there's just so many like people just like intermingling with each other now. Like just give it time, and like I feel as if like pure let's say Asians or pure like black people or even pure white people, like I feel as if that. Not that maybe not eradicated, but like it is like people are definitely gonna have more shit like in their DNA when they get their heritage test back. You know, it's like, oh, like 20, like probably my descendants from 100 years from now, they're gonna be like, what the fuck? Like who's Peruvian and Salvadorian? The fuck? Where's that from? And like the 2% Native American that everyone has for some reason.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not really sure what to say to that. I mean, I think like maybe in America, but like other countries.
Oh yeah, where it's homogenous for the most part.
Yeah. So
speaking specifically for America, because like, you know, we're considered the melting pot of the world. Yeah. So shit like that is gonna happen eventually. But yeah, like you go to like places like let's say Japan and Korea, where the populations are fairly homogenous and they're pretty xenophobic too. Koreans are a little racist in this. Like they would rather, like, if you can't get a Korean girl, marry a white girl. No one has ever said anything else. No one has ever said, yeah, you could date a black girl, or yeah, you could date a Latina girl. Historically, it's never been said, ever. But like white people, like we have this weird fetish for white people. And I kind of get it. But at the same time, it's like, everyone always says like, oh, that's a little weird, but then I'm like, so it's just as weird as when white people fetishize like Asian women. specifically Asian girls, like those little really cutie, like K-pop looking girls, like people like fetishize them like to no
Tell me
end.
you're a pedophile without telling me you're a pedophile.
Yeah, exactly. Even though a lot of those girl groups are like 18, like they're above
But
age.
they look like children.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's
what
why
I
they're
mean, yeah.
attracted to them.
The innocence, the like, haha, the cutie, like, you know, like voice and everything. Like, I don't know. Like, I had this one friend too. Like, he just loved Asian women. Like, he like was obsessed with them. And I was just kind of like, as a fellow Asian, I was like, hey, yeah, that's cool. Like, I love Hispanics. I love Latinas. You don't see me drooling over them like how this guy was. And
To the left, to the left.
I don't know. Everyone has like their preferences. I get that, but like
When you fetishize the preference so much to the point
Yeah,
where like you
yeah, yeah.
hyper focus on it, it becomes a little racist.
and yeah,
Like, yeah, man, I only like, oh fuck yeah, man, I only love black girls. It's like, whoa, that's telling of something.
And ladies and gentlemen, this goes both of you. Gender doesn't matter in this case. I'm giving shit to all of you who do this shit. It's a little weird.
Yeah, but
It's a little weird.
if a girl does it, she'll just get called like a bitch. If like a guy does it, he's racist.
I wouldn't call her a bitch. I'd
I
just
know
be like,
you wouldn't.
I'd just be like, oh, you're a little weird. You're a little goofy.
I don't
Especially
know,
to
man.
the guy too. I'd say to both of them. Because
Or if you're just really beautiful.
I'm like, look, listen. If you guys have, let's say, a preference, right? Again, if you guys have a preference, I got nothing to say to you. But if you fetishize over it, like some obsessive, like almost borderline, like, you know, horn dog, like shit like that, it's just like, oh, I love Asians. I'm like, oh, thank you for coming from me. But
yeah, you're not fucking racist for having a preference.
Yeah.
But when you take the preference so far
and
to the point where,
crank
like,
it up
you
to
make
11. Yeah.
everything about your attraction to them related to their
Yeah.
race, that is neglecting who they are as a person.
Yeah.
That not only becomes like, you know, objectification, it also does become a little bit racist.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Like,
you
oh, I
know,
just
so-
love your small coin slot eye.
Or exactly, you know, like, or like, oh my god, dude, I love the way like a black girl's ass just shakes. It just shakes differently than a white one's. It's like, okay, that's, yeah. But honestly, it doesn't matter how beautiful you are, you can still get cheated on. If even Beyonce can get played like, you know, the way that she did by just, you know, getting on her song being like, to the left, everything you own in the box to the left.
Why do you always
Like
gotta
that,
sing
like-
it like an Indian person?
Well, the reason I'm saying that is because, like, dude, like, I mean, somebody tweeted that song onto my timeline today and was even straight up like, oh, man, if even Beyonce can get played like this, then it's straight cooked for me.
J-Lo also did too.
Well, not
5
even that.
times.
Well, here's the thing, Dennis. I responded to that.
And would
Listen,
you
man,
write?
listen, man, Hitomi Tanaka had a fiance that cheated on her, alright? There's no hope for anyone.
But. And guys, we're gonna wrap it up for a little bit.
Did
'cause
that on a
we've been-
public
yeah.
platform.
We're running a little late today, but
Yeah.
I feel as if too, like it's just you're right, yeah. Like I feel as if no matter how, like, let's say, like attractive you are and stuff like that, like, you know, people will still be getting cheated out here. Like,
I mean, a shitty person
it's-
is a shitty person.
and to be fair too, like I almost feel as if like I don't really care for celebrities that much, but like the more at least I kind of look at them, right? Like I feel as if I could, not that I could commiserate with them, but I feel as if like having, let's say, even normal shit like a relationship is almost 10 times more difficult when you are a celebrity. Because at the very least, like, you know, you're getting followed around everywhere. One, you're in the newspapers, depending on how much of an A-lister you are and how much in the public eye that you are at that moment. You know, everyone is talking about you. Everyone is snapping your pictures. Everyone's tweeting about you and all this shit. It's even worse now because of the social media, you know? Like, tabloids was already bad enough when we didn't even have that shit. Now it's even worse. And having, like, even a normal thing like a girlfriend or a boyfriend, like, let alone even getting married and even having, like, a normal, happy marriage. Like, I remember when people, like, we're talking about how, like, when Kanye and Kim got married, like, and they're not together anymore, as most people know, but like he, like, you know, both, like, she came out of it okay, but like And everyone also knew, like, you know, if we're going to like racial preferences, Kim loved black dick. she just loved black men, just in general. She just loved black men, like from beginning to end of her entire, let's say, relationship history. And now she's getting banged by Pete Davidson. So like things change, I guess. But
look, man, all I'm saying is that there is a guy who Hitomi Tanaka was not enough for him.
Yeah, and I was gonna go into that, and just also even
how much porn do you have to watch?
I was shocked too to know that like I had a bit of a thing for J-Lo way back when, and I honestly think she just got like milfier hotter as she got older.
She did. Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
for
like
sure.
her ass just got like bigger for some reason. Like I'm like, are you doing like squats, or is that like, you know, some silicone in those ass cheeks? So like I couldn't tell.
Squats,
like, anyway.
bitch. If you want it, you gotta work it.
But she got cheated on a lot, and so it makes me think too. Like for them, let's say, right? Like let's say Beyonce and J-Lo, right? It makes me think too, like maybe considering, like, you know, for a lot of them, like when they were at their height, right? Like everyone knew who Beyonce was, and everyone knew who J-Lo was. J-Lo's time was a little bit before Beyonce, because Beyonce, like, I think really blew up around like the little mid 2000s, like 2005 and onward. From there, J-Lo was more around like my time during like the 90s and everything. And it really makes you think too, like, because these are like, for the most part, like pretty status wise, like pretty powerful women, you know, like, you know, Beyonce is always yelling like, yeah, you know, I'm queen of this bit, like, you know, of all this shit, like, you know, yeah, and to the left. And, you know, they all like to come off as like real like confident and everything, right? But it's like, I almost feel as if even if you are up to that point, like that they're like the insecurities, let's say, you already had even before, let's say, you reach there, you think it still lingers for a lot of people? Like even as, let's say, they grow, not even just in popularity, but like as a celebrity, like status as well, like you feel as if it's always still there?
Usually, I mean, it could sometimes be the people who, like, you know, brag about, like, you know, what they have the most, you know, who are the most insecure, you know, like those, you know, Instagram fakes or whatever, where people constantly like taking pictures of their bodies, looking for the likes, justifications, will get upset when they don't get that like and those likes and that justification and stuff like that. You know, some people do that ironically, and, you know, you could tell, like, I'm not saying like, oh, everyone's a clout chaser or whatever, but I am saying there are people who seek that kind of thing, and even when they get that justification, it only makes them crave it more, because that is what triggers, you know, that response in their brain that I'm doing good, I'm doing successful, I'm good. You know what I mean? It sort of encourages people to seek, you know, their solace less and less in themselves, because like they're getting that kind of validation from outside sources, and it's literally being fed to them, you know, like through algorithms and through, you know, like these social media apps, which is part of the reason that people say social media can be very, very toxic. So
suicide inducing, even
in that way. Yeah. You know, even if you are like a big celebrity like J-Lo or whatever, and I don't know J-Lo, I'm not saying she's stuck up or anything like that. I am saying though, like sometimes, you know, like that, you know, being surrounded by yes people. And I actually said this, I was listening to, I mentioned this in the beginning of the episode, that I was listening to some of my friends do a fucking, like a seminar on Smash commentary and stuff like that, and I asked questions, there were a bunch of people asking questions and stuff like that, and it was really good and really helped change my attitude towards the whole thing, you know, from that bad toxic place that it used to be in. But, fuck, I lost my train of thought. Did I actually just lose my train of thought? God damn it, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, we were just talking about J-Lo,
validation.
Yeah, you know, like sometimes, you know, like if you surround, thank you, if you surround yourself with yes people, you are never gonna grow as a person. So yeah, it doesn't matter how famous you are. Sometimes you still can keep that insecurity. I know people who like got a bunch of Twitter followers who fucking lost themselves. You know, don't talk to me no more because I'm not fucking good enough or whatever. And that's not most people. You know, I don't think most people get like that way. I think people can stay humble, but I am saying you surround yourself with like people who will literally never fucking say no to you, people who will never criticize you no matter what. And it's going to affect your product, which could affect your brand, which, you know, could affect your self-esteem. That even happened with Rob McElhenney in like some episodes of Always Sunny, like way back in the earlier seasons, because when they got big enough to actually start hiring writers, you know, those writers were literally scared to like reject any of his ideas, even if they were bad. Whereas, you know, Charlie and Glenn, they weren't scared to tell Rob that any of his shit sucked because they were his friend. You know what I mean? It's like, that was real. Real recognized as real in that sense. So, yeah, sometimes, short answer, yes, sometimes it doesn't matter how famous you are, because even if you got famous by having a bunch of, like, yes people, a bunch of simps, it just completely stunts you from growing as a person, which, that way, when you actually do start doing things wrong, because you're never told that you're doing things wrong when you do, and we're only humans, so we fuck up, you don't recognize it anymore because there's nobody there to help you along. So, I don't think celebrities are immune to that, Dennis. So again, I'm not saying J-Lo is an example of that. I don't know J-Lo, obviously.
You know her ass, though.
Who knows? Who fucking knows?
Unless your platform, like, just runs on that, you know? It's like being in the spotlight all the time, like Logan
Runs
Paul
on, like,
and all them. Like,
or, you know, Kim Kardashian.
Yeah,
name
like, you know,
one
for them.
example.
For them, it's
who is
like
famous
that's...
for nothing. Not
Yeah.
you know, it's literally just the truth.
Like, their whole currency...
The porno with Ray J, or whatever. That's
like,
what it was.
That's what I'm saying. Like, their whole currency is that, like, I am in the spotlight all the time. People are talking about me. That's how, like, I get money. And for a lot of celebrities like that, like, it's, you know, if that's their brand, then that's their brand. You know, like, I don't really like you, but I don't really care for you, but, like, you know...
Pete Davidson likes you. And apparently that's all that matters at the end of the day. So just learn to find your inner Pete Davidson.
I'll even say this much right now. It's like, I look at Beyonce, right? And also J-Lo, like, and I'm just like thinking, like, how in the fuck did you, like, I mean, there's multiple reasons why, like, people, like, cheat. Like, I'm not fucking, you know, naive to that, but it's like, you know, it's like, well, what, like, it definitely wasn't a lack of grade A pussy. Like, you were getting that from these two.
That's what I'm saying, man. So definitely, like, this French musician that Hitomi was, like, fucking engaged to.
Was he, like, Japanese
they had
too?
to have. No, he was French. It was like a French
Oh, he was
dude.
actually just French. Oh, okay.
Yeah, just French. So white and Asian. You know, to go back to that topic. I mean, you know.
But it's also hard for
obviously,
porn stars,
like,
though.
Yeah, like, so they, maybe it was, like, something to do with her fame or something like that, or maybe, like, God, I want to say that maybe they just had absolutely nothing in common, but they weren't just dating, you know, like, they got engaged to be married.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, that's a big next step to take. Oh, sorry, I was moving my mic. That's a big next step to take with somebody in that kind of way, for somebody that you're just like, kind of casual with. Like, clearly they had something.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they didn't, and they're just both really naive or whatever, and they're just like, you want to get married? OMG, yes, or and then, like, they didn't get married because he died, suffered in between the titties.
Makes me think too, like, it's, you know, because, like, people always say, like, don't date strippers and everything, and, like, don't date porn stars, but I'm like really wondering too. It's like, because I thought about it sometimes, like, could I date, back in the day, Madison Ivy? Could she ever, like, if I was, like, in another universe, if I was, like, ever dating, like, at the time she was, like, my favorite porn star. I don't really got one now, but it's like, I'm like, could I do it though? Because it's like, it's kind of along the same lines of, like, you know, when we talked about, like, could you date an OnlyFans girl? And it's like, could you really, like, honestly speaking, even to everyone who's listening, like, could you really date a girl?
God, that was like our fucking. What the fuck is this image?
What?
Oh no!
Did you just look up Hitomi Tanaka?
Oh no! I looked up Madison Ivy because I didn't know who she was.
Oh, like the pictures that she has now.
And this came up. Hello? I am not putting that one on screen.
No, you may not. But this was
the fuck.
She had a completely different look. She got into a car crash.
I
saw,
and she got,
like
the job. I see it. Yeah.
It's not flattering. That's why she got unfavorited from me after that whole thing. It's terrible what
Dude,
happened to her, but like,
there's some porn stars that literally destroyed their titties.
and their face. And their face,
oh my
man.
God. No, I know the face is one of them. Like Lucy Wilde. Oh my God, the woman literally was like famous for having literally fucking ridiculously giant tits, and she those were her natural breasts, and she destroyed them. It's the saddest thing.
I looked up Lucy Wilde and I got the Despicable Me character.
What?
Oh, yeah, I remember her.
Yeah, even Naughty did the same thing. And some of them just do that for the sake of their backs, probably.
Which, again, you know.
It just makes me sad when, like, the
nothing
ones with, like,
against
the
that,
naturally huge titties do that. I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, like, God gave you that, man.
Yeah. And you just.
I mean, obviously, I'm not a woman. Like, it's not my
you
fucking place to say
whatever the fuck you want to your
like,
body.
it's not my fucking place to be like, no, why'd you do that? You ruined him. You were so. No, it reminds me of that fucking Snapchat image. You know that image where like, no, don't. You're so sexy. Like, you remember that image? Same vibe.
But I'm also just saying it as like an ex-fan. You feel me? Like, we only say this not really out of concern because, like, you know, we don't really care.
we don't know you.
Because like we like, there's a new freaking porn star coming out every fucking week at this point. So it's like, if you're old news, you're old news. It's just how it is. But
why is Elmo in this photo?
But I guess to conclude today's episode,
yeah,
women who are even porn stars, I don't think I could date you. And people will say, oh, it's because of the like the self-esteem type shit. I mean, I won't lie, yeah, maybe a little bit, but it's also like men's egos are real fragile. I'll admit that. Like, and here's the thing though too. Like, I mean, again, guys, for the most part, you know, confidence is like the sexiest thing out there for women. Might vary depending on how much weight you got. And what your face looks like. But confidence is like, yeah, like the key. Like, if Pete Davidson could get a fucking, you know, girl like Kim and even Kate Beckinsale and whoever the fuck else, like,
and Ariana Grande,
you could get your Kate Beckinsale and Ariana Grande. But you just obviously need some confidence. Okay. And I'll admit, even if I did, maybe that's the reason why too, like, a lot of these guys, like, they just felt like so, like, just like inside, because it's like, you know, it's like, why like, for me, like, I even said this a couple times to my girlfriend. Even it's like why would in my brain, not to her, I think I may have said it a couple times, like, why are you dating me? like I wouldn't date me. Like, it just, like, not for a long period of time,
fuck me? I'd fuck me.
But in my brain, I'm just like thinking, like, I like look at myself in the mirror sometimes, and like, it comes and goes, obviously, but it's like some days I'm just kind of like, yo, I wouldn't fuck me. I would give me no pussy. Like, again, like, it's not all the time, but it comes and goes, and it just makes me think, like, you know, it's like, wait, what's she playing at?
Stop. That's not the attitude.
I know. It's not my real attitude. I just like to joke around with myself, and also, but.
I made that same joke recently. Like, there was some commentary application or whatever, but then I responded to it, be like, oh yeah, you know, I'd sign up for it, but I don't have 4 numbers next to the follower name on my Twitter. And they were like, David, just sign the fucking form. Straight up, like, it was a joke. You know what I mean? But like,
I know, yeah.
All right, I'm looking at pictures of Lucy Wilde now, and I'm getting horny. We gotta stop.
So,
it was almost an hour and a half.
Yeah.
We gotta.
So David, real quick, could you date a porn star? If,
no,
let's say she was like all over you, right? But like, she still had to go to work. So it's like, you know, like, would you?
It's too late in the episode to get into this topic. If you fucking if you want to fucking think about this one, if you want to hear my answer, we literally did a whole segment, God knows how many months ago, on if we would date a girl who had an OnlyFans. I think it was like the second episode of the show that we ever did.
A couple episodes in, yeah.
Yeah, a couple episodes in it might have. So go check that out. So I don't know. The answer is, if I loved her, I don't know.
Can I join in a scene?
Alright, we're done. Here's my fucking Fiverr. profile. I will not voice a character in your
This
fucking
episode sucks.
porn. It really did, actually.
I hate this episode.
It needed more alcohol.
I fucking hate.
Listen, man.
Hate this episode.
You were busy with something else, and I'm having a very, very off week. It's okay. We told some good stories. It's fine.
Yeah.
Here's my Fiverr profile. I will not voice a character in your porn project. I'm not there yet. No, seriously, there are some women who literally specialize in erotic animations. Straight up, they're professional moaners.
I could moan pretty good.
Honestly, yeah, it's I wouldn't want to advertise myself that way because everybody who knows me from Smash would be like, oh, how the few have fallen. When they see that, be like, yeah, I'm making more money doing that than fucking Smash commentary. No, I'm just kidding. I'm being
broke ass cucks.
Nah, I'm kidding. But seriously, here's my Fiverr profile. If you want to hire me for your voiceover project, I'm open to it. YouTube promo, character animation, whatever. I am trying to get as many of my feet wet as I can possibly muster. So yeah, that'd be dope if you hired me. Take a listen to my reels. It would mean a lot to me. Dennis, you?
Instagram, Twitter, guys, as you already know. Also, Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, and a bunch of others that we'll have down below for y'all to check out. And guys, this was our first episode for January 2022, baby.
It fucking sucked. We didn't have nothing prepared. We were telling
a little shitty today. Yes, a little shitty today. Watch this episode get more views than anything. Again, it's happened before. It's happened before, David. It's happened before.
Needs more alcohol and or gay porn.
And actual fucking stories. but guys, thank you for, weathering this shitstorm that was this episode.
Yeah, last week's episode was really late, and it still got more views than some of the prior ones before that, a lot more. So thanks.
So
honestly.
Guys, if we could maybe get this to 50 or 60, I would appreciate that very much. And at the same time,
dope.
Thank you guys again for listening to two retards talk for an hour and a half.
And if
I'm always gonna
get 50, 60 views, go fuck your mother.
I will ask Madison Ivy to sodomize me in the asshole with those huge duck lips of her. But
send her my way. You got a girl.
Yeah, that is true. But I'll be like, it's like, I liked you before your surgery. I'm joking. God forbid.
I'm sure she would love that.
God forbid if she ever listened to this and she's like, well, and I'll be like, you just lost yourself a fan to us.
All right, let's get some F's in the comments for all the poor defeated porn star titties that no longer exist,
or the dead porn star titties.
Let's get oh god, or the dead ones.
There's a couple of those.
Oh, you mean
which
literally?
Is a shame.
Oh, you meant literally.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like August Ames, I remember her.
Yep.
Rip. Bye, guys.
Yeah, bye. Lights off, I guess. Lights off.
Lights off.